What does an IAS officer actually do? Like, if you were to describe your jobs to a 6-year-old, how would you
This
explain
is a
it?
lovely question because I had one video by a TV channel. A 14-year-old came to me and said, one day with the DC Panchkula. I was deputy commissioner of a district of Panchkula. So, an IAS officer's life is very diverse. Firstly, you might be receiving about 150 calls per day from politicians, officers, public, representatives, media, even judiciary at times. So, any segment of society is connected to you. If you're posted in the field, you are an all rounder. You will not be doing any one thing. Like if you're in the headquarters in sports or cooperation or agriculture or industries, obviously you're dealing with that department. But if you're in the field like a DC or an SSP, then the person walking into your room or the diversity of your role is tremendous. The diversity is really widespread. The whole of India is potentially your meeting person. So, what happens in that case is that you start your day with, let's say, planned meetings. 11 o'clock, I'm going to do this, 3 o'clock, I'm going to do this. But often that agenda goes for a toss
Because
because the chief
problems come up.
problems come up. There may be a fire somewhere. The chief minister might call a meeting somewhere. Nowadays, video conferences also take place in the government a lot. So your day is not your own. That's number one. Number two, the diversity is actually very challenging and also very interesting. So you won't be doing any one particular type of thing. It's not like you are plotting some strategy to rehabilitate people. So therefore, you need to get into this. You might be doing some sports related, yoga related event management also. Yoga day is coming or something else is coming. You'll be busy with that. Then protocol. The Chief Justice of India wants to visit your district for some reason, or a minister wants to visit a garden very nearby with his family. So the IAS officer is there to look after the minister and his family. So protocol, firefighting, organization, planning, public dealing, lots of things go on at the same time.
Is it true that IAS officers are possibly the most powerful people in the country?
Yeah, it's true. Because IAS officers and IPS, I would say, they form the backbone of the bureaucracy and the government structure. So it is said that three people in the country can do anything. That is PM, DM, and SDM. And you can add the CM also. But the thing is that these people, DM, SDM, etc., they come powerful because they have a widespread role in that. They have a jurisdiction and they have powers which are all round. They don't just have one particular power. So an IAS officer's role is very powerful, very important in nation building, in service delivery, in regulation, in law and order control also, because sometimes you work with the police closely. So I think they are the foundation of the system in the country.
I believe you resigned in 2017.
That's right.
So, what was the mood of the country like in 2017? What did the government want for the country?
The country and the IAS officers, their goals have to be aligned. So 2017 or now, the goals have to be aligned with the nation. And if the IAS officers are, as you say, laying the building blocks or getting them laid through their teamwork, they have to plan, they have to strategize and move forward. And there are time limits, there are deadlines, there are targets. You can't be sitting on a project for 10 years if it was a 2-year project. So we need to be diligent and dedicated. And there needs to be motivation of the IAS officers as well. If there are parents, they're trying to motivate their kids, but who is motivating the parents? You and I might be doing a job like that. But society works on inspiration, motivation, which we don't know about. People think they don't need it. But if an IAS officer is given a pep talk by his chief secretary, by the CM, PM or somebody that, we are with you, go ahead and do your job diligently and nobody can spoil your reputation or put a spanner in the works, he'll do 100 times better job. Nobody's telling him that. So I think that is something which IAS officers need to hear from above. Plus, IAS officers or IPS officers or any service, they are, the key word is service. If they have that approach, they will translate whatever they want into action. I did a couple of things in life which I'm recognized for in my career. And it was because I was able to carry it forward diligently and I got support and recognition from my seniors. Had they said, no, you can't do this or put bottlenecks, I wouldn't have been able to. That is how the country will move forward.
So, like, is there a geopolitical angle with the role of an IAS officer? Do they look at India's impression on the outside, or is it more about like, okay, how can we build the country from the inside?
So the MEA, the Ministry of External Affairs, the Indian Foreign Service would be more conscious of the geopolitical angle and the global perception. An IAS officer has a limited role in one role. He might change from sports to IT to agriculture to cooperation, or being a DC or being a commissioner. But in that role, he's worried or should be worried about his performance in that particular position. And I think you get at least 30 opportunities in your career as an IAS officer, or 20 at least, to do different roles. And in each role, first you learn about the position of that role, you learn about what is required, because you're not a specialist. It's a generalist service. So there is a big debate, generalists versus specialists. So the person in the Department of Agriculture is an agriculture scientist, but you as an IAS officer are his boss. He knows more about it. But you know leadership, you should know administration, you should know how to take it forward. So I think IAS officers, IPS officers, other services, if they come with that dynamic approach, understand the role and deliver, they can really make a lot of difference in society.
So there's like such an intense entrance exam. There's such an intense entrance process. So I'm guessing that when a lot of people get selected to be IAS officers or IPS officers, that's a pretty big peak of their life and career. Okay, I've reached this point. But once you become an IAS officer and you're actually going about your job, what is the best case scenario in terms of career? Like, I'm sure that there might be even people who'll be happy to like plateau. But then I'm sure there's that one Michael Jordan type of person who says, no, I want to reach there. So what is that there? And how do you reach there? It can't just be performance. It has to be some other level of X factor.
Yeah. So one person will become the chief secretary of a state at a time. That is a pinnacle for IAS officers. The director general of police of the state will be also a pinnacle for the police officer. In the center, it is a cabinet secretary or the home secretary of India or the finance secretary of India. These are peaks. Everybody can't be there. All IAS officers won't reach there. IPS won't reach DGP. So the thing is that you rightly said, you have to be outstanding at your work. There's no doubt about that. No shoddy person will become the cabinet secretary of India. Quality matters. Secondly, there may be factors where you were diligent enough, you were dedicated enough, the chief minister or the prime minister recognized it, or you were there at the right time, at the right place at times. Luck also could play a factor. Somebody retired or somebody just, somehow something happened to him, illness took over, and that person could not become the chief secretary. You became the chief secretary. So I would say that about 1 in 5 IAS officers or IPS officers would reach that pinnacle. And they would need to be outstanding. They would need to be a little lucky as well. And they would need to be largely controversy free before reaching that stage. But then the stakes are higher, and likely that once you get there, the controversies will chase you there more than before.
Wow. It's an intense life. I think that the intensity is what people don't understand. There is this whole level of status that you gain being an IAS officer. There are perks that you gain, but there's also a sacrifice for
Absolutely.
that status or those perks.